The sun was dipping behind the jagged peaks of Blackthorn Mountain, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. My cabin, a rustic retreat I'd built with my own hands, sat proudly on a plateau overlooking the valley. This was my sanctuary, a place to escape the chaos of city life. I owned every acre of this mountain, lock, stock, and barrel. The deed was ironclad, passed down from my great-grandfather, who'd won the land in a poker game back when the West was still wild. No neighbors, no noise, just me, the pines, and the occasional bear. Or so I thought. Enter Karen Vandermeer, the self-appointed czar of the Blackthorn Valley Homeowners Association, a group I'd never heard of until that fateful Tuesday. I was splitting firewood when I heard the unmistakable crunch of tires on gravel. A shiny white SUV rolled up my private road, kicking up dust like it owned the place. Out stepped a woman in her 50s, hair teased into a helmet of blonde curls, clutching a clipboard like it was the Magna Carta. Her lips were pursed so tight they could have cracked walnuts. "Excuse me," she barked, her voice cutting through the mountain air like a chainsaw. "Are you the owner of this structure?" She gestured at my cabin like it was a porta-potty. I leaned on my axe, wiping sweat from my brow. "Yep, name's Ethan. This is my place. Who are you?" "I'm Karen Vandermeer, president of the Blackthorn Valley HOA," she said, puffing out her chest. "And you, sir, are in violation of at least 7 bylaws." I blinked. "HOA, lady, I own this whole mountain. There's no HOA here." Her eyes narrowed, and she flipped open her clipboard. "That's what they all say. According to our records, this property falls within the Blackthorn Valley jurisdiction. Your cabin's exterior is non-compliant, unapproved wood finish, no landscaping, and that eyesore of a satellite dish. Unacceptable." I laughed. Couldn't help it. "Karen, with all due respect, I don't know what map you're reading, but this land's been in my family for a century. No HOA has jurisdiction. Here, you're on private property." Her face turned the color of a ripe tomato. "Private property? This is a community. We have standards. Your shack is bringing down property values." "Property values?" I gestured at the endless forest around us. "The nearest house is 10 miles away. The only thing bringing down value around here is your SUV scaring off the deer." Karen jabbed a manicured finger at me. "Don't get smart with me, Mr. Ethan. I've already contacted the authorities. They'll be here to enforce compliance." "The cops?" I said, incredulous. "You called the cops because you don't like my cabin?" "It's not about liking it," she snapped. "It's about rules. You'll be hearing from us." She stormed back to her SUV, nearly tripping in her impractical heels, and peeled out, leaving a cloud of dust in her wake. I shook my head, figuring that was the end of it. Karen was clearly unhinged, but I wasn't worried. I had the deed, the survey maps, everything proving this mountain was mine. No HOA could touch me. I went back to splitting wood, the rhythm calming my nerves. 2 hours later, as I was grilling, trout on the porch, blue and red lights flashed through the trees. A sheriff's cruiser pulled up and out stepped Deputy Mike Callahan, a guy I'd known since high school. He looked apologetic, rubbing the back of his neck. "Ethan, sorry to bother you," Mike said. "Got a call about a zoning violation. Some lady named Karen Vandermeer says you're running an illegal structure." I handed Mike a beer from the cooler. "You're kidding. She actually called you out here?" He sighed, popping the cap. "Yep. Said you're destroying the aesthetic integrity of Blackthorn Valley." Her words, not mine. I explained the situation, my family's ownership, the deed, the fact that no HOA existed within 100 miles. Mike nodded, sipping his beer. "Sounds like a Karen being a Karen. Let's take a look at the paperwork just to cover my bases." I pulled out the deed and survey maps from a lockbox in the cabin. Mike skimmed them, chuckling. "Yeah, you're good. This is all private land. No HOA's got jurisdiction here. I'll tell her to back off." "Thanks, Mike," I said. "Want some trout?" "Nah, gotta get back, but I'll handle this." He tipped his hat and drove off. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The next morning I woke to the sound of a megaphone. "Ethan, this is your final warning. Comply with HOA regulations or face legal consequences." Karen was back, now with a bullhorn, standing at the edge of my property with 2 other women who looked like they'd been recruited from a country club. One held a stack of flyers. The other was filming on her phone. I grabbed my own megaphone, kept it for scaring off coyotes, and stepped onto the porch. "Karen, you're trespassing. I own this mountain. Take your HOA nonsense and go home. You can't intimidate me," she shrieked. "This is a community matter. We've filed a lien against your property." "A lien?" I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the megaphone. "You can't file a lien on land you don't control. Get off my property before I call." Mike again. Karen's eyes gleamed with triumph. "Oh, we're way past Deputy Callahan. I've escalated this to the county zoning board. They'll shut you down." I was done playing nice. I grabbed my phone and called my lawyer, Sarah, who specialized in property disputes. She was in town, thankfully, and promised to be there in an hour with every legal document proving my ownership. In the meantime, I decided to have some fun. Cranked up my outdoor speakers and blasted Sweet Home Alabama at full volume. Karen and her minions flinched, clutching their ears. The one filming dropped her phone. I waved cheerfully, then went inside to brew coffee. Sarah arrived right on time, her pickup kicking up gravel as she pulled up. She was a no-nonsense woman, with a penchant for shutting down entitled bureaucrats. Karen, still blaring her megaphone, didn't notice Sarah until she was right in her face. "Ms. Vandermeer?" Sarah said, holding up a folder. "I'm Ethan's attorney. You're trespassing on private property. This land is solely owned by Ethan, free of any HOA jurisdiction. I have the deed, survey records, and a cease and desist order for your harassment." Karen sputtered. "This is outrageous. We're protecting the community." "There is no community," Sarah said coolly. "This is Ethan's mountain. You have no authority here. Leave, or I'll file charges for trespassing and harassment." The two women with Karen started backing away, muttering apologies. Karen, however, doubled down. "This isn't over. I'll take this to the state." Sarah smirked. "Go ahead. You'll be laughed out of every office from here to Sacramento." As Karen retreated to her SUV, still shouting about standards, Mike's cruiser rolled up again. He stepped out, looking exasperated. "Karen, I told you yesterday, this is private land. You're causing a disturbance." "She's trying to file a lien," I said, crossing my arms. Mike sighed. "Karen, you're done here. Go home or I'll have to cite you for trespassing." Karen's face crumpled, but she finally got in her SUV and drove off, her minions trailing behind. Sarah handed me the cease and desist order. "She won't be back. If she tries, call me. I'd love to take her to court." "Thanks, Sarah," I said. "Want some trout?" She grinned. "Hell yeah." That evening, as I sat on my porch watching the stars, I got a call from Mike. "Just a heads up," he said. "Karen's been posting on some HOA forum, claiming you're running an illegal commune. I don't think she's done yet." I laughed. "Let her try. I own the whole damn mountain." Over the next week, Karen's antics became local legend. She tried filing complaints with the county, the state, even the EPA, claiming my cabin was an environmental hazard. Each time, she was shut down with the same response. Blackthorn Mountain was private property, outside any HOA's reach. Rumors spread that she'd moved her crusade to social media, where she was ratioed into oblivion by locals who thought her HOA was a joke. I never heard from Karen again, but I kept my megaphone ready, just in case. Up on my mountain, the only rules are mine, and the bears don't care about property values.